On a quorum, so I need to make sure everybody is signed in, and we're going to start in just a moment as soon as we make sure we have a quorum. Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum, so we're going to go ahead and call it to order. Typically, this meeting is led by the chair of the board. Chair of the board happens to be out of town today, and so bylaws say that if the chair doesn't, then the pastor, who serves as the vice chair, is next in line. So that's me. So you get to enjoy more gym time. So I'm going to invite Donna to come up here, and she's going to share the voting criteria. So, oh, so we might need to put them up so they can see their ballots and stuff too, though. The house lights. I apologize. We are also broadcasting for the first time ever. This is actually, people can join us online, but not your regular online people. The Skyrocket is watching online right now, and because they can't be here, they just ended their service. So they're online, and next year they'll actually vote. But go ahead, Donna.
Okay, so.
Oops.
Okay. Hello. Okay. Members of this congregation with voting privileges shall meet the following criteria. A person who has made a profession of faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, has worshiped regularly with the present congregation, meaning Skyrocket and Blue Mountain, depending, for not less than 6 months, is 16 years of age or older, is living according to the beliefs and practices as represented by the Church of God Ministries, Anderson, Indiana, supports the local congregation through Christian service and financial stewardship, supports the missions, goals, and leadership of this church. All who believe that they qualify, please stand. Any objections or exceptions should be made at this time. So look around a bit. If you have any problems with that, let us know.
Finger pointing has begun.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. So we need to appoint some tellers. I'm going to need 4 people to volunteer to be tellers. You can't be related to anybody on the ballot if you're going to be a teller. So can we have 4 people stand? We got a Sarah. Actually, Donna, write down some names. It looks like we've got... Who are you writing?
Sarah, Dawn, Kathy,
Okay. Josh.
Josh.
Okay, thank you. You will be tellers. The tellers, your job will be to distribute the ballots and collect those ballots and then tally them at the end of the service, or at the end of our meeting. So reading of the minutes for approval. So Donna's going to come back and share our minutes. You left it up here.
Okay. 27th, 2021. Pastor Jim Snyder called the business meeting to order with prayer at 11:46 a.m. There was a quorum of voters, including 62 in-person, 23 absentee ballots. John Jensen, Brendan Hill, and Rich Young were appointed to be the tellers. Alyssa Stites read the voting criteria from the BMCC bylaws, and the people intending to vote were asked to stand. Julie Caton read the registered names either in person or on absentee ballots, and there were no challenges to any of the voting. Alyssa Stites read the minutes of 3 prior business meetings. Mike Clark moved and John Jensen seconded to approve the 3 sets of minutes. The motion carried. Jim gave a summary of the back property sale to date. He quoted that because of the current fluidity of tax laws, we have been led to believe that the best course of action is to put the property back on the market in hopes of finding the right partner to develop a neighborhood or set of structures that align with the church's vision. Due to tax liabilities, the recommendation is to sell the property outright and possibly have a closing date on or before the end of 2021. A decision will be made sooner rather than later. Jim also noted the church building is in dire need of a new roof. Bids are being solicited, and once they are in hand, the board will decide on how to and when to move forward with the project. AT&T is waiting on the city of Walla Walla as the city managers are establishing rules concerning the structure of new cell towers. The present plan will have the tower look like a tall pine tree, and it will be located on the back of our property. J.D. Croft gave an update concerning Skyrocket Church. A barbecue was held recently in Prescott and was well attended, evidenced by the consumption of all the available hamburger and hot dogs. The planned coffee shop operation will begin August 1st, 2021, and they will be serving coffee specialties created for Skyrocket Church and Blue Mountain Community Church. JD announced a sports camp. Vacation Bible School was to take place July 22nd through the 24th. The financial report shows, as of April, the church is $38,121.06 in the black. The ARC is operating well in the black due to income and a large number of government and foundation grants received. This year's church budget is proposed at $673,995.50, which is a 4% increase over last year's budget. The change is due to modest cost of living raises and a recently ordained staff member qualifying for a pension. Skyrocket Church is not included in the budget as operating monies are to be taken from a PNA grant, Prescott Community Church reserves, Skyrocket Coffee Shop income, and whatever offerings Skyrocket receives in the coming year. The proposed ARC budget is $558,781.58, which is an increase of 4% over last year's budget. Most of the increase represents a bump in wages to keep pace with the rapidly changing wage and hikes income. Excuse me while I see if there's a second page. Alyssa's going, there is, Donna. Okay. The board candidates' names were read to those in attendance. Okay. The names included Mark Coram, Robert Rice, John Hare, Jonathan Garrett, Donna Rand, Dan Thigpen, and Lexi Pryor. Mike Clark moved and Steve Harvey seconded to accept the slate of board nominees. The motion carried. Jim requested if a person marks no on the ballot, that they would please include a little explanation as to why the no was voted. The comments are reviewed and a board member may be approved numerically, but then they may choose not to serve based on the comments that are written. The results will be posted next week. Mike Clark moved, Laura Rice seconded to adjourn the meeting. The meeting was adjourned at 12:13 p.m. Respectively submitted, Alyssa Stites, Board Secretary.
All right, so I think we need a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a motion? Okay. Eloise Phillips moves. Is there a second? Sandy Goodson seconded. Sandy Goodson. All those in favor of approving the minutes, aye. All those opposed, same sign, aye. Ooh, the pressure is on. Minutes are approved. Okay, some real quick updates. The back property did sell. You probably know that at this point. AT&T cell phone tower, we are now receiving rent, and that's reflected in our budget. We're bringing in around $20,000 rent for AT&T to hold that little corner back there that they are going to put a tower in, but they're renting the property so that we don't do something with it. Roof, we still need a roof pretty desperately. In fact, it's getting way worse. We had a really, really wet spring. Our issue has been finding a roofing company that has equipment available or materials. It's all backed up, and so we are on a list. We are going to get our roof done, but we're just waiting for the roofing company to have a team ready and have the supplies ready. So we hope before the end of before this winter, we plan to have a new roof on the building, on the flat sections of the building. Skyrocket Church launched September 12th, I believe it was. It's going good guns. They're joining us right now online, watching only. Hopefully we can, because of what we're doing today, they can actually join us with votes and that kind of thing by next week. So, or not next week, next year. So, all right, that's really the updates for us today. Let's move into our financial report, and I'm going to invite Ariel to come up and share what we have.
Hello. As of today, June 26th, Blue Mountain Community Church is $106,200 in the black. We plan to do some of the costly repairs, like the roof or some HVAC stuff, to the church building with that excess. As far as the budget goes, the upcoming 2023 fiscal year Blue Mountain Community Church budget will be $767,725. This is an increase of 13% over this current year's budget. The main changes were payroll increases and the addition of a new position. And that's mainly the big change there. The upcoming 2023 fiscal year Skyrocket budget is $69,010. This was created based on projections using the last 10 months of data that we have since Skyrocket Church opened in September of 2021, and taking into account our goals for next year. The upcoming 2023 fiscal year ARC budget is $680,100. $680,100. This is an increase of 22% over last year's budget. And I want to note that the most of that increase is due to the addition of the Guppies classroom, which is 12 months and older, or yes, 12 months through 2.5 years, I think, which hadn't been accounted for in the previous year's budget. And the ARC budget is created with care based on this year's actual income and expenses, and taking into account our expectations for the coming year. Thanks.
Any general questions about the budget? I don't want to go in line for line necessarily, really, but any general? Okay. So that will be on your ballot. Those three budgets, the Blue Mountain budget, the ARC budget, and the Skyrocket budget. Okay, I am incorrect about that. Skyrocket budget and Blue Mountain budget are in the annual budget. That'll be the top line. So please excuse that. We do also have a change in bylaws. This is a fairly easy change in your bylaws. If you want a copy of this, we did have them out there. I can run you a copy. I'll read it to you real quick. We have line 1.2.1 is an additional line that says hereafter BMCC, because the word BMCC is referred to throughout our document. Hereafter, BMCC shall be used to reference BMCC and any other affiliated campus. So in our bylaws then, when we say BMCC, we mean BMCC, this on 928 Stern, but we also mean Skyrocket Church. And if we ever added another campus, that would also include that campus. So the idea is now Skyrocket can officially vote and can be represented and all of that good stuff. So that's the bylaw change. It's 1.2.1. Anybody want a copy of that? Justine can run it to you. Looks like we need a copy right back here. Anybody else? That is also on your ballot for today. Okay, board members. Our board looks like this. Each of these names will be on the ballot. You don't vote for them as a slate. You vote for them individually. They would be ratified for 1 year. They're a 1-year term with no time limit. So we want you to vote yes or vote no. If you vote no, we ask that you please explain why. Here's the reason. Most people are going to get yes votes. But if there's a no vote, there's a reason you voted no. And we want to know why, because somebody could get voted in, but your no vote with the notation with it might cause that person to stop and say, you know what, maybe I need to reconsider this. And so the no vote is a really, if you vote no, please take the moment and just tell us why so that we can understand the reasoning behind that. You don't have to sign your ballot, just tell us why. Okay, the names on the ballot this year, from Skyrocket, Mike Lathorpe. Did I say your name right, Mike? Lathorpe. Mike Lathorpe. Mike and Robin, they've been here, and then when we opened Skyrocket, they actually went out to Skyrocket and are worshiping out there. So Mike is kind of a representative from Skyrocket. Lexi Pryor, who has served now for a couple years. Lexi, over here. Oh, 1 year? Oh, she's only served one. Robert Rice, right there. 1 year in. Mark Corum, who is at a basketball tournament in Spokane with his kiddos. But he's been the board chair now for about 4 or 5 years, something like that. Dan Thigpen, who has served for five or 6 years. Donna Rand, how many years have you been on, Donna? 5 years, Donna? And then John Hare, who's been on about the same amount of time, about 5 years, correct? Okay, that is the names on the ballot. Do I have a motion to approve the ballot for voting? Brandon moves that we approve the ballot. Second? Loretta. Right? Loretta, right? Okay, so the ballot is approved and seconded. Do we have to move that the ballot, I mean, do we have to vote that the ballot be distributed? Okay, excellent. So let's go ahead and if our...
But just make sure everybody has signed in. If not, I'll bring it to them.
Is anybody not signed in? We can bring...
That's going to vote has not signed in yet. Okay?
Yes. Oh, there's the voting guides. Anybody want a voting guide that can tell you a little bit about each member that's on the ballot? Just raise your hand and we'll bring you a voting guide. Yeah.
I can't read their handwriting.
That's Leindecker. Chris Leindecker. Gary Bergevin.
Do you want to read them?
No.
Okay.
I just saw him sign it. I don't. Oh, okay. Keith? I have no idea. Might have to open it up. Well, they don't have it on the inside.
Is that Ina?
Yeah. Okay, Justine is going to read the names on of the people who have submitted absentee ballots. So, Justine,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Okay, so we so we have Rich Egan, Chris Egan, Ina Hughes, Naomi Ramsey, Chris Leindecker, Gary Bergevin, Pamela Vaughn, Heath Vaughn, and we're unsure. The signature.
We'll set that one aside. Any question about the names that were read other than the unsure one? Okay. Yeah. Okay, the name that we can't read, we're going to... Oh, the name we can't read is actually Richard Easton. Thank you for your interpretation. Some people interpret. Some people can interpret tongues. but others can interpret handwriting. Thank you. Okay, if you are done, pass your ballot to the center aisle. Does anybody still have a ballot? Okay, tellers, if you can take those ballots and tally them up for us. That concludes any business I had. Anybody have anything for the good of the cause? I'll be right there in a second, I'll tell you. All right. Anybody want to make a motion that we adjourn? Sandy makes a motion, we adjourn. Second? Bob, Laura? All those in favor? Get out of here. Thanks, everybody.